Hi everyone, my name is Tamid Saleh and welcome to my race review for the Italian Grand Prix 2019. We had an epic battle at the front between LeClerc, Hamilton and Bottas at the end, and also some rather unusual things like Vettel spinning whilst really not fighting anyone, and also the qualifying session that we're going to have a look at, that memorable qualifying session, to put it nicely. If you haven't already, then please do subscribe, as I do release F1 content. I do every race review from each and every race in the F1 calendar. If you want to check out my last video, which was on Leclerc winning Spa, then I'll be putting a link up here somewhere and also in the description below. But yeah, Italian Grand Prix, Leclerc made it back-to-back Grand Prix victories. Ferrari for the first time winning their home race since Fernando Alonso did it for them in 2010. We've got quite a bit to cover, so without further ado, let's roll the intro.
Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely world. He's taken them apart.
So guys, we have just had the Italian Grand Prix take place. Not, too action-packed like some of the other races like Germany, but still a decent amount of action and entertainment in the race. We'll start off with the qualifying session. Now, there's been a lot of talk about that, and quite frankly, I've never seen anything like it in F1. Normally in qualifying, drivers try to give themselves as much space as possible, for that hot lap. But yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen it, please do check it out. You will have not seen anything like that. It was just incredible. Everyone was just trying to stay behind each other just to get that slipstream, because as you know, in Monza you can gain up to half a second in qualifying if you're getting a tow from the car in front. So it's just completely different set of tactics to every other race. And what happened was they were going so slowly, like they were all bunched up at the same place of the track, trying to stay behind, so not overtaking anyone. And then so as they were doing their outlap, only two cars managed to cross the line, and that was Leclerc and Sainz, and every other car missed out, so they could not set a second lap, or a second hot lap rather. It was just the most incredibly strange thing I've seen. If you ask my opinion, so there's been a lot of heat towards it, people saying that we need to find a solution, la di da. I personally, I don't mind it as much. It's a new set of strategy. It only happens really in Monza, not in anywhere else in the F1 calendar. So I think, keep it the same. If drivers want to do this, or if teams want to do this, then it just adds to the entertainment. It has got everyone talking. Yes, you may say it's a bit unprofessional and shouldn't be expected of F1 drivers, but I think it's brilliant. So it might be a bit controversial opinion, but I say keep it the same, and I was very interested. Going into the race, Leclerc obviously finishing pole, his fourth pole position this year, and he led the two Mercedes. Opening few laps, nothing really changed in that. Vettel did get overtaken by Hülkenberg, managed to switch back comfortably, and then Vettel just, he wasn't fighting anyone or defending from anyone. He just spun, which, as you may be aware of, he does spin quite a lot more than anyone else really, or out of his rivals. He spun, that was his race over, and then the silly thing he did was he re-entered the track. And now look, I don't know if he could see the car coming or not, but it was just daft, and he had his front wing smashed, and one thing led to another. He got a 10-second stop go penalty. It was just horrendous from Vettel, and it just adds that extra pressure, especially now that Leclerc has just upped his game. He's winning races now. He's won back-to-back races. He's also jumped him in the driver standing. So is this the moment where Ferrari now, put their eggs in Leclerc's basket? Is he now the number one driver for Ferrari? Vettel, he needs to improve on recent performances. It's just not been good enough. Hamilton, he was, attacking Leclerc almost throughout the race. It was very interesting and nail-biting to see. But then he ended up, locking up, which gave Bottas the opportunity to do so. Nothing really materialized. So Leclerc, starting the race from pole, led pretty much every lap of the race, and winning his second Formula One Grand Prix. I am very impressed with the way Leclerc has been getting on at Ferrari. He may not have won some of the earlier races, but But yeah, he's been performing really well. Red Bull had a bit of a quieter race. As you know, Verstappen took the engine upgrade, so he had to start dead last. And then in the first lap, he damaged his front wing as well, had to pit, and then he was like something like 40 seconds behind the leader by the end of lap one or lap two. It was just yeah, there was no way he was gonna do anything in this race really. But he did manage to finish eighth, which was really good going. His teammate Albon finished sixth, so this race was kind of damage limitation, and the last two races have been damage limitation as well for Red Bull. We now enter tracks like Singapore and looking into the future a little bit, Mexico, USA, where Red Bull have done reasonably well in the past. So yeah, the last couple of races have been Ferrari races. I mean, you can say yes, they've won both of them in LeClerc, but Mercedes have scored more points as a construct in the constructor championship. So yeah, and before I round this video up, I'll quickly run through the top five in the driver standings and the constructor standings. Lewis Hamilton still on top. He only lost 2 points in his lead this weekend. So he's on 284. Valtteri Bottas, his teammate, on 221. Verstappen still in the top three. He's on 185. But now Leclerc is only 3 points behind him, who's on 182. Vettel rounds up the top five on 169. Looking at the constructors, Mercedes well on their way to their sixth Constructors' Championship. They're on 505. That's 154 points ahead of second place Ferrari, who are on 351. Red Bull 266. That's pretty much, I believe, the way the top three will go. I can't really see Red Bull jumping Ferrari or Ferrari jumping Mercedes. I believe that'll be the order of the top three now with 7 races to go. McLaren fourth still on 83, and Renault, who had a very good weekend, finishing fourth and fifth in Ricciardo and Hülkenberg, on 65 now. So yeah, I mean, the battle for best of the rest still goes on, but I believe the top three will end how it is. I'll round it up there for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Like always, please do leave a comment below. As you know, I reply to most, if not all of your comments. I do love to hear and read what you guys have to say. So yeah, drop a comment below. And if you've enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe for future content. Thank you very much.
Game, set, and match. Game, set,